Live from our studios in Lagos, Nigeria. If you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. Now to our main conversation for today. The state security services on Thursday refuted claims that its operatives invaded the national headquarters of the Nigeria Labour Congress. In a brief statement posted on its official X handle, the agency categorically denied any involvement in the alleged operation. Here stood the quote. Please kindly note that the service, DSS, did not carry out any operation at the NLC office in Abuja, end quote. But staff members and officials of the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC have deserted their offices after the alleged raid by operatives of the SSS on the NLC's national offices. NLC President Joe Ajaero had alleged that its Pascal Bafuyao Labour House and National Secretariat in Abuja was invaded by armed security operatives, both in uniform and mufti. Ajaero, in a message sent to the group WhatsApp platform of Labour correspondents, said the incident occurred at about 9 p.m. His message read, quote, Comrades, armed security men, both in uniform and mufti, just invaded the Labour House in their numbers and were at the 10th floor and the 2nd floor, end quote. Ajaero also said the operatives ransacked books at a bookshop located in the building, carrying all the materials into their van, claiming that they were used to incite and organize the recent protest. The ransacked bookshop is owned by a foreign national engaged in photocopying and other publishing activities. However, it did not open on Thursday for business today due to the incident. It is speculated that the SSS operatives targeted the office because they were unable to locate the tenants at his residence. Well, let's have a conversation. Still with us in the studios to do justice and peruse through this very trendy, but of course, very important topic today about the Evans Feli and Cyril Abago. Thank you, gentlemen, for hanging on. Now, let's get into this particular matter. It still sounds very confusing when there is authorization for invasion into property. And the only people that can do that are security operatives. At the same time, same security operatives are saying that they don't know anything about it. What are we speaking about here, Evan Sofeli?
Well, the occupants of the building allege that the DSS came there, right?
Yeah.
Now to carry out an operation and had ransacked a library and taken books, which they alleged that those books were used to incite protests and all that. So now the DSS is saying that they were never there. So it is their word against that of the NSC. And the time of the day that was recorded, you gave a time.
Yes, 9 p.m.
Yes, it's not work hour, okay? And the DSS is saying the bookshop does not even belong to, Labour is saying the bookshop does not belong to them, right? Yeah. That belongs to a foreign nation that's involved in and all that. So the question now I want to ask is, how did they come to the conclusion that DSS was actually involved? Do they have a search warrant, or have they gone around to find out which magistrate issued the search warrant?
You mean the NLC now? The question is to the NLC.
Yes, to the NLC. Who issued the search warrant, and where is it clear? Are they sure there was DSS that went there? And if they are sure, do they have evidence to that effect that was DSS? Because what they are saying is uniform men. Like I said when you read
yes,
that.
Uniform and mufti.
Yes, security men and uniform men and all that. So they will need to come clean. We need to, because at that time of the day, I don't think they were in their offices.
No.
And so if they were not in their offices, who informed them that was DSS? Was it the security men? Do the security men really, can they really prove that it was DSS that came there? So that's one thing they need to get right, because they didn't come during work hours. And as at the time they came, was security men there. So those security men, do they have anything to substantiate the fact that it was DSS that came there? Because if they don't have anything and they're just saying DSS, it will be difficult for you to conclude that it was actually DSS that went there. Especially now that DSS have come to rebut whatever it is, allegations they are laying against them. Was it the police? Was it DSS? They are telling us it's DSS. How did they know it was DSS? That's my question.
Very true. Cyril Abaku, Nigeria is just one country where, the best advance did say if they explain to you issues about Nigeria and you understand it, which means it wasn't explained better. This is another classical case.
Yes, what I'll say is very straightforward there. An institution as big as the NLC is quite an institution with a face in Nigeria. This invasion happened on Wednesday night. If indeed people went there in uniform, it means it is a uniform that can be identified. And some in mufti. I want to believe that they were armed. The story said the 10th and 2nd floors. Okay. Now, they went there. Did they have a warrant? Nobody knows, because the DSS said they didn't go there. Now, as a caveat or as an aside, the DSS has done things in the past. When you ask, they say we didn't do it. Later on, they'll be found to have done it. One such example in recent memory is the arrest of this Miyetti Allah leader that was forming a militia in Nasarawa. I so believed it. I said, no, they didn't pick him. Only for the matter to come and he was being arraigned.
How about the journalists?
A lot of we're just going to pick one. That's one. Then number two, how do we sit here and feel if indeed the NLC offices were raided by unknown men in the nation's capital, and I've not read anywhere that any investigation is on the way to unravel who those whether invaders, attackers, impersonators might be. So what are we now saying? So anybody can dress in any kind of uniform, take guns. It could be National Hospital tomorrow. It could be National Library tomorrow. It could be National Assembly tomorrow. It could be a ministry tomorrow. They just go there, raid the place. When we ask who did it, nobody.
And that reason given that they took the booths because of protests, who interviewed them?
I'm coming.
When they said that.
So I'm coming. So then the question then is, who then went there? Because if nobody, it means we are not safe. And don't let us take this lightly. We always say that if this can happen, we are not safe. If that can happen, we are not safe. But if it could happen this way, it means if somebody came to my side from the police or DSS, I should kill him quickly. You will call it self-defense in good language, but what else will, if he's armed, what else do you want to call it? Is to quickly push him out of the way now. And how else do you do that? We shouldn't be this kind of country. We shouldn't be this kind of country where nobody knows what happened. It is a word against my own. Then nobody is even investigating to know what really happened. The owner of the bushop on floor 2, 2nd floor, is the word I used earlier about killing the person may be a very harsh word, so I would I think it's a Lebanese person.
Okay.
Now, let me come to the question of, because he asked just now, and it came in the conversation about boots being used to inflame protests. Okay. First, it was by raising Russian flags, and that there were Spaniards and Poles involved. Now it's about arresting a Lebanese. No, not arresting a Lebanese. Going to a Lebanese bookshop. Whoever did that don't know a Lebanese bookshop, they'll say you are cutting away his books, that they are inflaming and inciting protesters. So is it that there's this theory of foreign people trying to influence our political process in Nigeria? Is it really such a strong, that is, if that side of the discussion something to hold on to?
It's nothing to hold on to. Government is giving heavy weather.
So I don't understand what is really going on. But they should spare us these speculations and anticipations. What they must do is somebody who should come clean. For all you get, the police and just have a responsibility to investigate what happened at the NLC offices, okay, and tell Nigerians what happened, so that our minds can be rested. Because the way it is going, if anybody shows up in front of my door to say you're from, I'll ask, how can I authenticate the fact that you're from there?
No,
because if anything happens, you deny it.
If they don't investigate it, we'll keep saying they are the ones.
Good.
Until they investigate.
So they must own up to it. Somebody must come and say, when you own up to it, they must say that say we did it is not us, or we know who did it. You can't leave the country this way. Who lives a country like this? You do something, you say you didn't do it. How then do you even believe? When they took him into court, initially said they didn't take him. Later on they said they took him. Then they kept him there, maybe in their kitchen or in their wherever, maybe on a golf course. Until somebody went to court to say, then they said, in compliance with the ruling of the court, we are going to charge him. One journalist on WhatsApp belong to said, he picked that part of the person and said, in compliance. So if court order didn't say it, you wouldn't have charged him moving into court. Who, in the first place, doesn't even have the right to arraign somebody in court.
But don't you think that this could be a tactical measure, that comes from the training with what they do, not coming out to own up to something because possibly...
Because they are secret police.
Yes, of course. Yes, please.
Before it comes in, for years, the Mossad didn't exist, had no agents, didn't do anything. Until certain operations had to be undertaken. And they were allowed to know that this was Israel. One example was when they went to Argentina to kidnap Adolf Eichmann, the man who did the Holocaust. So people know that Israel not only had spies, that they had capacity to undertake certain groundbreaking international missions. Okay? In Nigeria, the DSS is known. Normally, if they didn't want us to know that they did this kind of thing, then we shouldn't even have been having discussion here. Because it would have been another matter entirely.
Yes, but of course, you made a reference to the Mossad. Now, the assassination of Haniyeh in Tehran, blame has been going to Israel. Have they owned up to that?
Two things about one, the killing of the Hamas military chief, which they said they did in an airstrike.
The one in Lebanon, or the one
Lebanon. Haniyeh, the leader of the Mossad political, the Hamas political, that was killed in Iran. See what happened. Sources in Israel have revealed that the Mossad has briefed the CIA of what happened. That they planted a bomb in a chair 2 months before the man went to that guest house to go and stay. And that they knew that was the place he always went to. So 2 months later, he walked into that house with a bodyguard, and then they remotely triggered the bomb.
But officially, have they owned up to it?
They don't want to.
They've not officially, but it's from rumors that.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
If they leave, even
there's no official source now.
No, I'm coming. If they didn't want us to know this much, they won't. We wouldn't even have known. We would have speculating. Theoretically, we don't know that it was Israel, but like 2 months that the bomb was planted 2 months earlier, and all those details that we now know won't have been known. For example, when they went to that hotel in Dubai to carry out it was because they were caught on cameras. They didn't want to be known. They wanted to kill a former Hamas chief in Jordan. They were going to take a spray to spray in the man's ear. Then they are caught. You know what I mean? So where I'm going is there are operations you don't want to be known or seen, and you should not be.
You should not be.
Yes, you won't be seen or known. You know the problem I have with this? If they intend this to be a clandestine operation and going this way, it speaks whether we even have the capacity for such operations.
For secret operations.
Exactly. That's my personal opinion. When I read this, so I was like, is it that Nigeria does not have the capacity to undertake this sort of clandestine? Because routinely they do these things.
Yes.
All over the world, routinely
and if you check the time they went, you understand, to carry out that operation. This is more of the characteristics of DSS. I'm not saying they are the ones.
But of course, they are not compelled to operate at a particular time. They have the freedom once it's of national interest.
I know it's based on their strategy now, that their targets. What time would they really get their target? That's what is important. It doesn't matter the time of the day. Even police, they carry out some operations at the dead of the night. You understand? The most important thing is the target. But why they come out to say they are not? I'm curious. And my question is, these guys are DSS. Who unveiled that? Because the only people that will be in that building at that time of the day will be security men.
Yeah.
Now, these security men, what kind of security do they have? Are they mobile policemen? Or they are corporate security men, guards, or what? So there are a lot of questions to be asked because the credibility of that information, that DSS that went there, it will be wrong for anyone to conclude that because it happened in the night, then it's DSS. It will be wrong to conclude so. You understand? Because the truth is that DSS can carry out the operation in the night and they carry out operation anytime. But if you don't have facts, were they on their vex, their DSS vex, or how did you come to that?
Well, the story we have, I know it's a developing story, but with what we have, the evidence that we have, of course, I said that they went there with the uniform.
The evidence you have is yes.
What Joe Ajero said.
Yes.
And it's because it was his own allegation.
But it was not there.
No, what he said was that this was, I said, that they wore uniform and mufti. Now, my challenge again is very straightforward. This is what Ajero has said. We have also said that Dr. Peter Funaya, head of strategic communication, just has said we were not there. So this is like NLC versus DSS. Now, later today, the NLC said they're going to brief to tell us what they are going to do next. But I'm just concerned about a country in which it is either indeed the secret police cannot undertake secret operations, and believe me, a proper clandestine operation thrives on what they call dirty tricks. You will try hard as you can never trace it back to them. Now, but this has happened. 9 p.m. is even like open time. So Ajero is publicly and openly saying it was a DSS, and they've never invited him to say it's not us. Come and explain how you knew that it was us.
Do the NLC, do they have CCTV cameras?
No, it may not be a camera. That 9 p.m., right? It's possible that some people may not have. It's a 10-story building.
I know.
It's possible that some people have not closed.
I know.
So what about they made it clear that these people came to our offices. So if it is not them, who then went there? How are we investigating to know who would have dressed in a DSS paraphernalia as impersonators?
No, but if indeed it was not DSS, and people are saying what DSS, the DSS should be worried too.
Seriously.
Okay, they should start off an investigation.
They should be worried because what it means is that perhaps they are being impersonated. And if it turns out to be true that certain persons can take on their regalia and carry out operations and they will call on them, they should not rest on their oars.
And just deny and say it's not us.
Now, that statement is not enough. They could have also co-opted with the NLC, saying it's not them, but we need to get the people.
Yes.
So that is how to go about it. And when you find them, you should be able to give us, like they do in America. When it happened, somebody plotted the graph on Sky News on this shoot, Donald Trump, this attempt at Donald Trump's life. Somebody plotted the graph and he was invited to come do analysis. He used to be a sniper too. You understand? But now a former lawmaker now. And he came there and he gave analysis of the fact that the boy is a sniper, but he's not trained. He's trained, but he's not an expert. Now he drew that line this way and said, a sniper targets this. And they now asked him if he were the one, will he be able to get Donald Trump? He said it will not take him more than 25 seconds to bring him down. Now, if that guy was truly a trained guy, he would have brought the man down. And he gave the distance where the boy was and the place where Donald Trump was sitting and all the deflectors and why those persons who were shot eventually were shot. You understand? Then even talk about Donald Trump's mannerism when he's speaking. He measured when he said 2-3 words, he would turn to that he would have put all that in fact.
Yes.
The way he was talking about it, you know that, okay, this person really is an expert, okay? Things like this happen under the watch of DSS. They say they are not the ones, and they are not doing anything. Or maybe they are doing something we don't know.
Now, the government has, the last couple of days since the hashtag End Bad Governance protest to blame consistently foreign nationals. Do you think there are espannages in Nigeria?
I don't think so. See, There are foreigners in Nigeria, just like there are foreigners everywhere in the world. In the UK now, they are protesting against immigration and all that, immigrants and all that. There are immigrants everywhere in the world, okay? But for you to then, because people flew flags and you're able to arrest some persons, have you profiled them? Have they come up with any confessional statement as to who sent them, as to which country is sponsoring them? Have they done all that? If they have not done all that, then you just come and say there's foreign. What is really at the risk of not demarketing your country, but what's the attraction here really that the focus will not be that there are people who want to come and take over? I don't know what these people are saying. when people are, and you're even talking as if you have a secure border, why wouldn't they be here in the first place? I mean, the insurgencies that have been here, so you told us that most of them are from Mali and all that. What stopped these ones from coming from other places too? If by the way anybody can enter, really. So, government is just bothering us with this information. Even if people are, foreigners are here and they're trying to topple government here, is it the citizens' responsibility? Is it not your responsibility to get the intelligence and crush it? So they shouldn't be saying that. What they need to do is to provide food for the citizens. As long as they have refused that the citizens will not eat, but they will keep eating, there cannot be peace in the land. There can't be peace.
Yes, the security and welfare of the people is the fundamental function of the government. Of course, our attention is on the security. Don't you think the government is really, doing what it should do, knowing that those are the duties of the government?
Let me quickly say this. As a person, I'm saying it I'm saying this on national TV. As a pastor, when I want to watch movies, I watch freelance almost exclusively. I enjoy it. Even when I want to watch documentary, I watch documentary on freelance, world wars and things like that. So I'm a bit biased when it comes to things like security, espionage and things like that. It's my space. I enjoy watching those things. Every country has value. Even if the country has been burned to the ground, we saw what happened. Serbia, is this Serbia?
Serbia.
They have value.
Even I was surprised.
Sudan has
yes, now I was surprised that Greece. Greece put out this thing for employment for agriculture. So if you are out there and you are doing agriculture and all that, you can find your way to Greece. It was put out by Schengen. That if you are coming, you have those skills. The visa is one hand.
Yeah, so everybody has value. Yes. Nigeria being the most populous African nation, our market, everything we have value. And I think we have enough value to attract more than enough players on the turf of information gathering, whether it is humanity or satellite intelligence, signal intelligence, and so on. Now the problem is that if indeed the government is worried of foreign agents on our soil, if this is the approach that they are using, they got it completely wrong. If this is the approach that they want to adopt, in publicly saying we've arrested 7.7 Polish nationals, we have arrested.
But Cyril, just yesterday, the United States of America has, shown a man of Pakistani descent who was said to have sponsored the young man who wanted to take the life of Donald Trump. So don't you think it's same old? It's the security operatives have a particular way of running their operations.
That's what they want you to hear and to know. America runs. There's no America runs. Have you ever seen them come to have a fair come to announce who won the presidential election in America? You don't see that happen. As the media keeps announcing results, they tally the winner. They will sit on CNN once they've announced that this person has won the election. CNN even boldly announces exit polls, which you can do in Nigeria. Exit poll meaning when you vote and come and who did you vote for Trump? They note it, so they are counting. They will project. CNN say Trump has projected to win Alaska, and he win Alaska. If you do that in Nigeria, you call
even those who vote before the election. They call it there's something they call it. Those essential workers, and nurses and doctors. They used to vote before the election starts.
The mail votes and all.
Yeah, they also go and comb that.
Yes, they do. So the media has there's a certain liberty that the American media has. You will take that to think that that's all that there is to the matter. It's not all that there is to the matter. I can tell you that for a fact and for free. When matters of deep, do you know that some things are classified until they are declassified? the way we are running these things, look, if you wanted to know, I'm even surprised that they don't have people that are planted in some places. Because I know that DSS is in a lot of, look, that so-called library, if at all it was a place of interest, you don't need to go and do this commando thing. You won't see the man again. Even if that is assuming that's what it was. But if you get the man now, he would have gone to prepare himself or something. There are ways to go over these things. If indeed you went to his place, you didn't see him, you went to the bookshop to come and you didn't see him there, it means he has beaten you. So that even gives me more cause for concern. There are some things we can say on TV. If indeed there's a credible threat, and this is the best we can do about it, the people you're chasing are not the people that you should look for the people who are pushing, who are standing behind. Okay? And sponsoring and pushing them. That for me is the real issue.
They said I've arrested the tailor. An ordinary tailor.
I know the things you bothered about.
A tailor was given the contract by somebody. The tailor wake up one morning and start to show. If you are who is that person?
Come on.
Who is that person who paid the tailor?
Come on.
That person is connected to the source.
To somebody who connected to somebody. I can tell you that.
And when you get that person, you make confessional statement, you trace what he's saying to where we are going to.
Let me, just as we close, let me just give you this. To even get the person who gave him the order, I can tell you during World War II, somebody wanted to give somebody information in London. We first traveled to Switzerland and pass information to somebody from that's traveling to Spain. The person will take from Spain to Holland. Then from that, that's how they think. So to think that
it's deflection.
What are you talking? Information can travel around like this before it comes back to where it was intended to go to. Well, so to sit down in I hope it is not the way it looks to me.
Well, but as we wind up for today, Joe Ajaero has said that even during military dictatorship, they see a situation where the labor house was invaded, and now in a democratic setup like we have today, it is happening. I do not know how damaging this will be to the reputation of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. 60 seconds.
It is now. It's very damaging. What it means is that the space is porous. Okay. Just like when the insurgents went to Kaduna, they went to the military center itself, they entered the place.
The NDA?
Yes, they entered there. They went to barracks, they entered there, they broke in, got into the armory and all that. So things like that will tell you that perhaps somebody is not doing something right, okay? We should be doing better than this because we have a lot. We owe the world a lot. They need to see how serious we are with this our fight against insurgency and all that. They need to see because it's little things like this go a long way to show that it's possible that nobody is safe really. Even with the quantum of security men and the siren, people are blowing and blaring all over the place. People can be.
Do you think there should be a cabinet reshuffle with all of what is happening today?
For the president?
Yes.
He should leave
especially with the military architecture.
He should leave his cabinet the way it is. Do you mean service chiefs or?
Yeah, service chiefs and all.
No, he should leave them the way they are, frankly speaking. Except that for the perfunctory purpose of people who did the cause in the year after those people came, so that they can be having CDSs too. It's fine. But frankly, it is not about changing service chiefs. So it is about whether there is a political will to take on this behemoth of corruption. Let me give an example. You hear, is it Red Cross or one of these agencies? If it's not Red Cross, I apologize, but one of them, when they take their aid supplies, they are traveling to, or was it Amnesty? Traveling to Borno, or on the road, their truck will break down. The next news you hear is that terrorists came and carted away the supplies into the bush. Then the truck came back to good health and continued on its journey. It happened again and again. One day the army now declared them persona non grata. Do you know why? Because that was the source they were using to arm terrorists in Nigeria on our own soil. That's an international aid agency. I don't know which of them it was.
No, maybe they impersonated them.
Yes, because I actually wanted to know. Hope this story is
because even the Boko Haram, when they attack, even during war, you don't shoot at Red Cross people. Because they are there to save wounded soldiers by the Geneva Convention. So it might be because it's easy for Boko Haram to impersonate them because they don't search Red Cross. You are aware all over the world.
But the army declared a particular international agency persona non grata that they must leave the country in 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. If they allow themselves to be impersonated.
Yeah.
And they are not doing anything about it. They did not go to report. That please, this is us. This is our face. We are hearing that some persons are using our. You understand? If you don't go to report first, it means you are an accomplice. It means you and the fake you should leave. That's what it means, because it's a security breach and all that.
All right. Of course, just like I did say, it's a developing story, and right here on Enterprise Television, we promise to bring you a minute-by-minute update on that particular story. Of course, when Joe Ajero makes his findings and tells Nigerians what is there, we will promise to often bring it to you. Love to say thank you to Pastor Van Sofeli. Cyril Ababu, thank you so very much for being part of our show today. But most importantly, we love to say thank you to you for equally making out your time to be part of our show. Please do well to visit our website for more information at enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.